In the high-stakes world of military disability, the line between a warrior and an actor is often blurred. Forensic research shows that malingering, the intentional fabrication of symptoms, appears in up to 30% of combat disability claims. Trevor Coult himself admits that thousands of veterans out there are lying through their arse to get compensation.
There's a lot of people watching, mate. The whole point of this chat was just to talk about PTSD and the fact that I think there are thousands of veterans out there lying through their arse to get compensation, taking the piss out of it, and don't know what it is, and they make up symptoms. And it bugs me.
But when we apply the clinical red flag scale to his public life, a different pattern emerges. The first forensic red flag is the presence of an external incentive. Malingering is driven by a clear motive, usually financial gain. Trevor Coult is deeply involved in the commercialization of trauma, using his platform to promote My Veteran Claim, a business venture aimed at the Ministry of Defense payouts.
Because in an hour and a half I'm on Talk TV with Jeremy Kyle, so I'll be doing that today. And I will be using my platform to promote a company called My Veteran Claim, run by veterans for veterans. Yes, which don't stab each other in the back. They look after each other. So I'm looking forward to that.
There. That's why I use Pseudo, an American company, partnered with My Veteran Claim.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a veteran and you are in the chat, I would appreciate it if you would go across to Facebook and follow My Veteran Claim, or follow Rob's page. I'll put a link later on. Rob, I'm going to call you offline when we get this finished, but
He even describes a strategy for veterans to stay on heavy drugs specifically so that the MOD doesn't lower your compensation.
whenever you put a claim in against the Ministry of Defence, you're watched. They watch you. They want doctors' reports. They want updates. They want more doctors' reports. So basically, they're forcing and the veterans know this. The minute a veteran says, I don't want to take any of more of these drugs, it's not moving in the right direction, you stop taking the drugs, it goes on your file, the GP. When the MOD asks for your file, it says you're not taking drugs. It lowers your compensation. And this may sound shit, but a lot of veterans are just taking drugs from doctors now so that they don't get screwed over by the MOD's compensation.
When a trauma narrative serves as a commercial for a compensation business, it is flagged as alternative causation. Next is contradictory presentation. Genuine PTSD involves avoidance behaviors. Feigners, however, often use stereotypical or cinematic language that is rare in actual survivors. While Trevor Coult mocks veterans for punching shadows at night
and changing batteries in radio, I mean those that left the gates to go out to fight an enemy. Every single person that I work with, when we left the military, we all had the same sort of outlook. We used alcohol to mask all our shit, marriage breakdowns, and we had anxiety, we had stress. But I want to point this out. Not a single person I worked with on the front line woke up in the middle of the night, punching shadows, thinking they're on the front line.
He presents a cinematic profile of his own, claiming he is so hypersensitive that he bursts into tears watching toilet roll commercials or plot lines on the soap opera EastEnders.
Where she used to take patients, and I sat down on the sofa and she says, "What's wrong?" And I just broke down crying for about 10 minutes. I didn't know what to do. I think it just overtakes you, the wellness. But that is what it is, mate, you know. But
yeah, I mean, I remember sitting there watching TV and fucking clean. Know the old toilet rolls advert come on with like the little dogs run about, and I fucking burst into tears. And the wife looks at me and goes, "Are you all right? Are you having a moment?"
There was something that triggered me one night, and I didn't know. But basically, I found myself Is this PTSD? I found myself getting emotional at bullshit on TV, and I don't know where it came from. I broke down crying, and this is going to make people laugh. I don't watch it now, by the way. It's very rare I watch these things, but I used to watch EastEnders, like, religiously. And something happened where a baby got stole. I think it was Kat Slater stole a baby, right? Kat Slater had her baby stole. That's what it was, by Samantha Janis, whatever it was in the programme. And I remember breaking down crying and going, I can't believe that woman been through all this. She doesn't, what's wrong, Trevor? She doesn't need this hassle now. She's got enough with Alfie. You know what I mean? And I was like, what is happening to you? You're changing.
This shift from aggressive warrior to hyper-emotional actor is a major clinical red flag. Forensic experts look for negative response bias, the tendency for malingerers to over-endorse almost every symptom listed to appear more broken. Trevor Coult adopts a narrative of complete vulnerability, claiming he can't get my head around PTSD, yet endorses a laundry list of extreme emotional outbursts.
Been involved in more things than me, and I wanted to ask Rob about his sort of mindset and if he had similar issues, because, as you know, Rob, I've shared some stuff with you this morning, and I can't get my head around PTSD. I know it suits everyone differently. What's your take on it?
The sources suggest that individuals often acquire just enough knowledge of the disorder to develop tales suited to their needs.
It's just so fucking difficult. And if you are in that circle, then I apologise that your life is involved, but you could have succeeded in achieving everything, but you had to give up a fucking night to fucking smile at a fucking lunatic. I'm just so sorry. Every day is a fucking panic in case I upset someone that's so delicate. It's just so fucking shit. The world's full of delicate cunts. Sorry, but I'm not here to please people or wipe people's arses. I'm here to be myself and fucking get through the day. And sometimes getting through the day is difficult because there's fucking retarded pricks placed in your position for you to navigate your way through them. They're fucking everywhere. These.
The military socializes a warrior ethos of stress, immunity, and emotional detachment. A core forensic red flag is a marked discrepancy between subjective complaints and objective findings. While Trevor Coult presents himself as a broken veteran, he manages a global YouTube channel, coordinates business ventures, and engages in aggressive verbal combat daily. In forensic settings, performance validity tests catch this, where the performance of disability fails to match the reality of a high-functioning, competitive life.
But people use these things to keep going after people. It's okay not to like a YouTuber. It's okay not to like someone. It happens. YouTube, sometimes people pretend to be better than they are. There is a phrase that I use, fake it till you make it. And once you've made it, you don't need to fake it. Everyone uses that. But the one thing that I have noticed is that a lot of people on YouTube behave like children. They do behave like children. The drama. Look at their channels. No one's watching their videos. No one's subscribing. So how do you get around that? You need to cause drama, controversy. He said, she said. It's what people do. I'm always transparent. I leave it open. Yes, I do block assholes, and I'm always going to continue to do that. But when someone says things about you, you have to call it out. What I don't like is when
The final, most damning red flag is false imputation. attributing unrelated life stressors like divorce or legal trouble to a specific traumatic event. Trevor Coult admits his 2019 suicide attempt followed being hammered on social media and accused of heinous crimes from theft to fraud to scamming. Forensic literature identifies this as the development of pseudo post-traumatic stress disorder, using a trauma label as a shield to evade the consequences of personal or legal scandals.
If Johnny Mercer really cared about mental health and cared about veterans, why does he keep telling me to go away and keep blocking me? I've got mental health issues. I'm a veteran who's out there fighting from the front. I'm in Westminster. He ignores me in Westminster. He won't speak to me in Westminster. In fact, somebody who's very, very famous said to me not that long ago that Johnny Mercer told them to watch me, that I was dangerous. He won't come near me, which tells me one thing. Johnny Mercer is scared. And I'll tell you why he's scared. Because he knows that I don't put him on a pedestal and I don't think he's special. Anyone that writes a book called We Were Warriors, who was 20 kilometres behind the rest of the battle group, is not a warrior in my book. A warrior is everybody else that stepped out those gates and went forward. They're warriors. Warriors are the medics who put together our injured soldiers. They're warriors. Warriors are the flight crew that flew in combat and risked their life and their helicopters to pick up casualty. They are warriors. Warriors are not guys who sat back 20 kilometres away and fired artillery. I don't give a shit if you're from the RHA. You're not a warrior, and you shouldn't be writing a book to proclaim you are. Okay? And that's the bottom line. This may come back to bite me, but I'm going to tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I've been bitten lots of times lately, and I'm a big boy. My skin's quite thick. And that's how it works. What we do forget is the thousands of veterans that apply for those games who work all year round to try and get on the team. Do you know what happens when they don't get on the team, ladies and gentlemen? They go back into depression. No one helps them. Truthfully, it's the same faces year in, year out on the Invictus games. It's the same people missing legs on posters for Help for Heroes because that sells. It's the same people putting out the same shit on social media about how good Help for Heroes are because they paid for my trip to fucking Sydney or to Moscow or to here. Do you know what? You're all a disgrace. And after this video, I will probably get inundated with people complaining. And do you know what I say to every one of you? Fuck you. I don't care. I'll be honest with you. I don't understand why so many veterans are fucking retarded and thick and stupid and fucking filled with so much shit. The reason why veterans are homeless is because of other veterans. Fuck it. I don't ever want to be part of the British veterans community because it's a community filled with fucking grievance, selfish, self-infested bastards that fucking only care about themselves. Facebook is filled with veterans, thousands and thousands of veterans charities on Facebook. Eh? Ask yourself why. Because they're all a bunch of cunts. Fuck them. People don't like it. They don't like this is why I don't get involved in the veterans podcast. In the veterans, we lift each other up. I mean, today I want a podcast about being the most brilliant veterans podcast. How many subscribers have you got? 700? You're a piece of shit. Veterans community is a shit community involved with shitty little people that lift each other up in shitty little lives. They raise money for charities which are worth fucking hundreds of millions of pounds. I'm raising money for the RBL. Yeah, they've got 900 billion in the bank, but they want you. I mean, fuck off. Fuck off with your bullshit. And this is why I do not get on with veterans. I despise about 95% of the veterans community because it's a bunch of cunts promoting each other, trying to lift each other up. They never actually help people, but they're all on a decent fucking wage packet, and they're all living off the same shit. And
fucking annoyed with them, I really am. People would donate money to you if they seen you doing shit for veterans. Get off your ass and do it. Do you want to be transparent? I've had lots of people send me, Alan Cree, Pablo from my own unit, sending me shit about me being a thief. Do you know what, Pablo? You were a waste of space in my unit. You're a waste of space now. Disappear. Guys, the best way to help veterans is whenever someone, and excuse me because lots of you out there have asked me recently for help, and I have said to every one of you, I will see what I can do, and I mean that. I have a few £100 left in my savings account, and I need to make sure that goes to the right people, and that's the truth of it. But I will not give the money out unless I speak to Joe, Cornelius, Dave, my 3 trustees. They have to agree. They have to agree. When I've been in London, I've been helping.
got it out there. I thought I was having a stroke for a second. Ooh. No offense to stroke patients. I had a stroke before, actually, a few years ago.
Whatever it was, all different stuff. Wasn't working. Anxiety started going. Then it got to the stage where things got that bad and the hate got that bad being directed at me. The hate got that fucking bad that I had a heart attack. I had a stroke. I ended up going to hospital. My marriage fell apart because of all this hate. Just want to point this out. Not only did my marriage fall apart, I had to hand the key across to my wife at the time, who said she didn't feel safe around me because of my mood swings, because of all the hate. So there we go. Never laid a finger on her. Would never do that type of thing. It's not my fucking motive, that type of shit. So that happened, ladies and gentlemen.
Hate to say it, 2019, 2020, I can't remember when it was, back in 2019, during Christmas time, I was being hammered on social media, being accused of heinous crimes, from theft to fraud to scamming to fucking homophobia to racism. And on top of PTSD and all the drugs I was on, I lost my marriage. I drove out in my van. I took loads of tablets and I tried to kill myself. I ended up being pumped out in hospital. I woke up in hospital and I didn't care. What I didn't do was announce it on Facebook and put a photograph of myself there looking disheveled going, I'm really in need help. Because people that really want to kill themselves just go and do it, or they attempt it. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I'm still here. But I mean, a friend of mine in Northern Ireland, I won't mention his name, went missing, disappeared, took himself off to kill himself. They caught him in time. He didn't announce it. What I don't like is these people that pretend they've got PTSD and announce it on social media. Yes, it's a cry for help, but I mean, fucking just stop it. Because what you're doing is you're playing down genuine veterans with genuine mental health just for clickbait, and that gets under my skin, mate.
Yeah. No, I totally.
Successful soldiers use cognitive empathy to bond with their nation, but they remain emotionally composed. When a veteran calls the suicidal cries of others clickbait and dismisses them with a fucking do-un attitude.
Around 2015. I got sent home in December 2014, and I didn't really have a. Don't get me wrong, I loved the army. Yeah, I was a bit of a fuck up at the start, but I tried to improve as it went on. But I really enjoyed it. But in the end, I knew I was suffering. I was getting more angry, more pissed off with people. Whether it was drivers, people asking stupid questions, whether it was having to queue up when fucking 6 people at a checkout were chatting, everything was getting on my tits, and I was just sick of people's incompetence. And it just got to a stage where I was like, and my wife at the time phoned up, and so I'll be honest, my wife at the time phoned up Combat Stress, and they were brilliant. They sent a lady out to my house in Rendlesham, and she spent a couple of hours there. She wrote reports on me, and just as she was about to leave, and I said thank you, my wife said, so what's the next stage? And the lady actually said before she went that I don't think we're going to be able to deal with your husband. I think he's got combat complex PTSD, and I don't think we have the right people to deal with that. And I was like, well, what was the point of coming out then to do the assessment? So where do I go now? And I mean, the lady from Combat Stress signposted me to the NHS, and I was like, okay then. So you're telling me that you're called Combat Stress, but you don't deal with combat stress. And I was like, okay. So that's one of the reasons why over the last 10 years, I've never supported them. I've had loads of veterans reach out to me on social media over the last 10 years. Trevor, can you help me with raising money for combat stress? And I just went, fucking do one. I just won't do it because personal. They might be great now. Things may have changed, Rob, but from a personal experience, I don't want to help someone that's not willing to help veterans. And it's personal with me. But
They aren't showing the numbing of PTSD. They are showing the callousness associated with a personality disorder. By checking every box on the malingering scale, Trevor Coult isn't just talking about an exploited system. He is the face of pseudo PTSD. Real wounds are silent. They deserve better than to be used as a backdrop for a commercial.
Goes on YouTube for fun. They don't go on there for your entertainment. They're all on there to make money. The body language guy makes about 60 grand a month. The umbrella guy makes over 100 grand a month. A lot of channels are making about 5, 6, 7,000 grand a month. The small channels don't make that much money. And that's why we can't afford lawyers to pay to stop these bastards attacking us. So for those of you saying, so it's about money? Of course it's about money. Do you think I give up my whole day to make videos just for fucking fun? No. No, we don't. Here's the truth.